You know, many of the men I see, especially once they cross into their 60s, carry a quiet burden. It's the feeling that their best days are behind them, that the energy and vitality they once took for granted have slowly slipped away, like sand through their fingers. Some come to me with a kind of weary resignation, convinced that fading strength, sluggish circulation, and that elusive spark of intimacy are simply the inevitable parts of aging. But I want to invite you to pause for a moment and question that belief. Because what if it's not the full story? What if the body, with a little care and the right fuel, still holds a remarkable capacity for renewal and resilience? I'm Dr. Michael Hanks, and I've spent years walking alongside men who are quietly struggling with these very concerns. Men who've grown skeptical after being bombarded with gimmicks and quick fixes that promise the world but leave them feeling more drained than ever. I understand that exhaustion, the frustration of searching for answers in a sea of empty claims. But what I'm about to share with you isn't about hype or magic pills. It's about something simple, natural, and accessible. 3 types of nuts that, when included in your daily routine, have quietly helped many regain their energy, sharpen their focus, and restore a sense of vitality they feared lost. Let me tell you about John. He was 65 when he first walked into my office, a man who looked more worn by life than his calendar years suggested. He spoke softly about his struggles, how fatigue weighed on him like a shadow, how intimacy with his partner had become a source of quiet disappointment, how he felt less like himself with each passing day. John had tried supplements, diets, even exercise programs, but nothing seemed to stick. What helped John wasn't some grand overhaul. It was a simple habit we introduced, adding 3 specific nuts to his diet. Over weeks, those small handfuls became a ritual, a moment of quiet nourishment. And slowly, I watched the light return to his eyes, the spring in his step, the renewed confidence in his voice. That's the power I want to talk about today. John's story is not just about adding a few nuts to his diet. It's about rediscovering a part of himself that he thought was lost to time. When John first came to see me, he wasn't just physically tired. There was a weariness in his spirit too. He spoke of mornings where he felt as if he were waking up underwater, sluggish and disconnected. His joints ached with a stiffness that seemed to echo years of hard work, and there was a frustration in his voice about how his body no longer responded the way it once did. Perhaps most painful was how this physical decline had seeped into his relationships, the quiet distancing from his wife, the hesitations, the missed moments of closeness. What many don't realize is how deeply connected these symptoms are beneath the surface. The fading of morning vitality, the loss of energy and stamina is rarely a single issue. It's a cascade, a symphony of biological processes that become disrupted over time. Circulation slows. The small vessels that nourish muscles and nerves don't deliver with the same vigor. And the intricate dance of hormones that fuel desire and drive becomes less synchronized. John's story is a mirror for many men, reflecting a universal truth. Vitality is fragile, but not lost. As we talked, I explained to John how nutrition plays a pivotal role in this process. You see, the body is an intricate system of signals and responses, and what we feed it sends messages at a cellular level. Nutrients can act like gentle messengers that tell our blood vessels to relax and open, that support the cell's ability to repair themselves, and that help regulate hormones essential for energy and intimacy. It's like tuning a complex orchestra, each nutrient playing its part to bring harmony back to the body's functions. John found hope in this understanding. Rather than feeling overwhelmed by a long list of things to change, he felt empowered, knowing that something as simple as choosing the right nuts could make a difference. He began to see those handfuls not just as food, but as tiny tools for reclaiming his health. This shift in perspective mattered as much as the nutrition itself. When a man feels he has agency, when he feels seen and understood, the path to healing becomes more attainable. Biologically, what happens when we consume these nuts is fascinating. Take the healthy fats they contain, particularly omega-3 fatty acids and monounsaturated fats. These fats are the building blocks for the membranes of every cell, including the lining of blood vessels. When those membranes are supple and healthy, blood flows more freely, delivering oxygen and nutrients to every tissue. This improved circulation helps muscles recover faster and supports the brain's sharpness. At the same time, antioxidants found in nuts combat oxidative stress. Think of this as the wear and tear caused by free radicals that damage cells over time. Reducing oxidative stress slows down cellular aging and supports immune resilience. The selenium in Brazil nuts, in particular, plays a crucial role. Selenium is a trace mineral but mighty in its influence. It helps produce enzymes that protect cells from damage and supports thyroid function, which in turn regulates metabolism and energy levels. Deficiencies in selenium have been linked to fatigue and mood disturbances, two challenges many men face quietly. When John incorporated Brazil nuts into his diet, it wasn't just about preventing deficiency. It was about enhancing his cells' ability to thrive. It's important to recognize how the mind and body are intertwined in this journey. As John began to notice small improvements, more energy in the afternoon, lighter joints, a clearer head, his emotional state lifted as well. He no longer felt like he was battling his body but working with it. That shift, subtle as it may seem, brought a renewed sense of optimism that energized his entire approach to health. This is why the story of nutrition is also a story of hope, resilience, and self-compassion. This intimate relationship between body and mind is something I witness in many men who come through my practice. The frustration of losing physical capability often brings a shadow of self-doubt or shame. Yet, when they begin to understand that aging doesn't have to mean surrender, that small acts of care ripple out to create real change, something remarkable happens. They reclaim a narrative where strength is redefined, not as what was lost, but as the courage to adapt and thrive. John's journey was far from a straight line. There were days of doubt and days when progress seemed slow. But those moments didn't define him. What did was his commitment to showing up for himself consistently, choosing nourishment over neglect. The nuts were a starting point, a symbol of his intention to live fully and fiercely despite the challenges of aging. When I reflect on stories like John's, I think about the quiet power in everyday choices, the kind that don't make headlines but transform lives. This is the heart of what I want every man watching this video to understand. Vitality is less about grand gestures and more about the cumulative effect of small, loving actions. It's about the rhythm of daily life, the rituals that honor your body's wisdom and your own deep desire to feel alive. There's a gentle invitation here, not to chase fleeting solutions or impossible ideals, but to meet yourself where you are. To see your body not as an adversary, but as a lifelong companion deserving of care and respect. And to know that even in the smallest moments, like reaching for a handful of almonds or savoring the crunch of walnuts, you're participating in a process of renewal. So, as you consider the steps ahead, remember John's story. Let it remind you that you're not alone in this, that your experience matters, and that the path to renewed energy and vitality is not a sprint but a patient walk, taken one mindful bite at a time. Understanding why these nuts make such a difference requires a little look beneath the surface, into the workings of the body and how certain nutrients act as the unseen architects of health. As men age, our circulatory system can start to show signs of wear, much like an old garden hose that loses pressure and flexibility. When blood flow diminishes, every part of the body feels it. Muscles tire sooner, the brain struggles to stay sharp, and the rhythms of intimacy can falter. What these nuts do, quietly and effectively, is help keep those channels clear and supple. They are packed with heart-healthy fats that act like a gentle oil for the body's engine, antioxidants that fend off the slow creep of inflammation, and minerals that support hormone balance and cellular repair. Think of these nuts as small but mighty powerhouses, tiny treasures packed with the kind of fuel that the body recognizes and uses to regenerate strength. They don't promise overnight miracles, but rather steady, meaningful improvements that build over time. It's a relationship with food that honors your body's needs rather than overwhelming it with flashy promises. These nuts offer a natural way to support vitality, to help you reclaim energy and confidence with every handful. Now, let's bring those powerhouses into focus. The first is the almond, a familiar nut with a lot to offer. Almonds are rich in vitamin E, an antioxidant that protects cells from damage and supports healthy nerve function. Magnesium, another abundant mineral in almonds, helps soothe tired muscles and maintain steady energy levels throughout the day. Imagine the crisp snap of an almond between your teeth, the slightly sweet, earthy flavor grounding you in the moment. It's more than a snack. It's a quiet act of care, a moment to pause and nourish. Next comes the walnut, often overlooked but incredibly valuable. Walnuts are one of the best plant-based sources of omega-3 fatty acids, the healthy fats that have been shown to promote heart health and improve blood flow. For men over 60, this is vital because good circulation is the foundation for vitality in every sense. Eating walnuts is like sending a message to your body that you value its rhythm, that you want to keep the pathways open and strong. The slightly bitter, rich taste of walnuts may not be a favorite for everyone at first, but it's a flavor that signals health and resilience. Finally, we have the Brazil nut, a small unassuming nut that packs a potent punch of selenium, a mineral essential for protecting cells from oxidative stress and supporting immune function. Selenium is also linked to better mood and hormonal balance, which can be game changers for men dealing with energy slumps and the emotional toll of aging. Just a couple of Brazil nuts a day can provide your body with enough selenium, but it's important to keep this portion moderate, as too much can have adverse effects. Think of Brazil nuts as the silent guardians of your cellular health. Incorporating these nuts into your daily life doesn't have to be complicated or burdensome. It could be as simple as carrying a small mix in your pocket or adding a handful to your morning oatmeal or yogurt. Perhaps you find comfort in the ritual of chewing slowly, savoring the textures and flavors, turning a simple snack into a moment of mindfulness. These little habits build quietly, creating a foundation of well-being that supports every part of your day. This isn't about drastic changes or complicated regimens, just simple, sustainable steps that honor the body you've carried through a lifetime. It's worth remembering that while these nuts offer powerful benefits, they are part of a larger picture. Nutrition, movement, sleep, and stress management all intertwine in the delicate dance of aging well. But choosing to nourish yourself with these natural powerhouses is a meaningful gesture, a signal to your body and your spirit that you are committed to thriving, not just surviving. As we pause here, I want you to imagine what it might feel like to take back some of the energy and vitality you've been missing, to feel a renewed sense of possibility in your body and mind. The next part of our journey together will dive deeper into how to weave these nuts seamlessly into your lifestyle and the practical tips that make this sustainable. We'll also explore the emotional shifts that come when you start caring for yourself in these small but profound ways. For now, hold on to the image of John. How, with just a simple handful of nuts each day, he found his way back to a lighter step and a fuller heart. That's the quiet promise of nature's gifts, and it's waiting for you too. Adding these nuts into your daily routine doesn't have to feel like a chore or a major life overhaul. In fact, the beauty of this approach lies in its simplicity and ease, small, manageable choices that quietly add up over time. Picture this. In the morning, while the kitchen still holds the calmness of early light, you sprinkle a handful of chopped almonds over your oatmeal, feeling the gentle crunch under your spoon, the subtle nutty warmth spreading through your senses. Or perhaps you carry a small bag of walnuts with you when you go for your afternoon walk, a simple ritual that offers both nourishment and a moment of mindful pause. At dinner, a couple of Brazil nuts alongside your salad serve as a tiny but powerful dose of selenium, supporting your cells in ways you might never feel directly, but that your body quietly appreciates. This isn't about rushing to overhaul your entire diet overnight, nor is it a magic bullet promising instant vitality. It's about gentle, consistent care, showing up for yourself in ways that respect your rhythm and the wisdom your body has gathered over the years. When you allow yourself to savor these moments, to really taste and feel the nourishment, it becomes less about ticking a box and more about reclaiming a sense of agency in your health. Eating these nuts is, in a way, an act of kindness toward yourself, a reminder that you deserve to feel vibrant and strong no matter your age. There's also an important mindset that often accompanies this journey, one that many men struggle with silently: the idea that needing help or making changes might be a sign of weakness. But in truth, it takes a quiet strength to face the realities of aging with openness and grace. It takes courage to admit that you want more out of life, more energy to chase your passions, more vitality to be present with the people you love. Choosing to nourish your body with intention is a deeply empowering step, a declaration that your story is not over, that you still have chapters to write filled with health, joy, and connection. Sometimes, these simple nutritional shifts ripple outward, influencing other parts of your life in unexpected ways. Perhaps as your energy improves, you find yourself more motivated to move gently each day, to take a short walk, to stretch in the morning sunlight. Maybe your improved circulation supports better sleep and the fog that once clouded your mind begins to lift. These aren't coincidences. They are the natural consequences of feeding your body well and honoring its needs. And the impact on intimacy can be profound, though subtle. Circulation is the foundation of so much vitality, not just physical, but emotional too. When your body feels alive, your spirit often follows. The renewed confidence that comes from feeling physically strong can open doors to deeper connection with your partner, fostering moments of closeness that you might have thought were behind you. It's a reminder that intimacy isn't just about the body, it's about presence, trust, and the quiet joy of being fully yourself. I want to leave you with this thought. Every handful of these nuts is a small but powerful investment in your future self. They are tokens of self-respect, nourishment that whispers, "I see you, I honor this life you've lived, and I want you to thrive in the days ahead." You don't need to do this perfectly, and you don't need to make huge leaps all at once. It's the steady, loving steps that create lasting change. As you reflect on what we've talked about, I invite you to consider how you might start this journey gently. Perhaps this week, you decide to try one of these nuts daily, paying attention to how your body responds. Notice any shifts in energy, mood, or clarity. Share these moments with someone you trust or write them down. It can help build a sense of progress and connection. Remember, you're not alone in this. Many men walk this path quietly, and together, we create a community of strength and support. If you ever feel uncertain or overwhelmed, remind yourself that change is a process, not a destination. Be patient and kind with yourself. I'm here with you every step of the way, offering guidance grounded in science and shaped by real human experience. Thank you for trusting me, Dr. Michael Hanks, to share these insights. Your willingness to explore simple, meaningful ways to boost your energy, vitality, and performance is a powerful act of self-care and hope. If this message resonates with you, consider subscribing and joining a community where we honor the journey of aging with wisdom and compassion. And when you're ready, take that first handful. It might just be the quiet beginning of a vibrant new chapter. Here's to your health, your strength, and the many days ahead filled with possibility.